Let me guess, you're in your late 40s, maybe early 50s, and you're basically not hardly wearing any makeup anymore. Or you make a really big attempt to do your makeup and you're like, well, that looks awful. Totally where I was. I was late 40s and I started having the things happen. We get more texture on our under eyes, all the things. We do our makeup the same that we've been doing it for a long, long time. And what we find is it just doesn't work anymore. So I kind of quit wearing makeup there for a little while. I did mascara, black eyeliner, tried to fill in my brows, and that was pretty much where I landed. Maybe a little bit of chapstick or lip gloss. But I didn't like that. I have been a cosmetologist since I've been 19 years old, and I really do love all things beauty. I love makeup, I love hair, I love fashion, all of that. So not wearing makeup didn't settle well. So I was in the pursuit of getting something that I liked, and I found it. And then once I found it, I used it for a hot minute, and then I was like, y'all need to know about this. Because as mature women, it is hard. We are not always represented out there in the beauty industry. We have filters, and then we have perfect young skin, and we're trying to use what they're using, and it's not working, and they're not speaking to us. They're not telling us what we need to do differently. So that's why I'm here. I want to share everything with you that I have learned and what makeup I'm using, the skincare, all the things. Hello guys, and if you are here and you're watching me live, I would love for you to talk with me. And if you're watching on the replay, I still would love for you to talk to me because I'll come back and comment. There are 2 links that are going to be on here for you here on Facebook. If you're watching this on Instagram, you won't be able to see them, but you can comment. What should we do? You can comment ageless on Instagram, and then I will get you the links. So this is what I found with mature skin. You're going to get all my good stuff. First of all, we need to prep our skin. You don't need a primer. I said it. Okay? Don't hate me. Don't say all the things. You're going to be like, I thought we always needed a primer. In my opinion, what you need is good skincare. If you see the one link here and it had there's a link. Hi, Wesford. Hi, Cindy. There's a link here and you can get a skincare match from me. Cindy here uses my skincare that I love, and you can get a skincare match. We can match to your skin's needs and we can match to your budget. But here's the thing with the skincare, okay? We've probably not used very good skincare until we were about 50. I think that most of us my age, we're like all in the same boat. We didn't think about it. We didn't know about it. We didn't have social media like we do now. We didn't have the education. And now we're kind of like, okay, I really do want to invest in skincare and we don't know what to do. And we always hear the vitamin C and the retinols and the treatments and the peels and the things like that. And there's not always something wrong with that. But the skincare I found is a Korean skincare. They know skincare. They've been doing it really, really well for a really, really long time. And they don't want to challenge your skin barrier. We've been doing that our whole lives. We've been laying out in the sun. We've been using Noxzema, Seabreeze. We've burnt our skin. We've used all kinds of things that we just challenge our skin barrier. And this skincare does not do that. This skincare is intended to hydrate and protect. That's what they want to do. But they have vitamin C they have vitamin C actually in their products, but it's super, super gentle. They have retinol type products that don't make your skin peel, but they give you all the benefits. And there's so much more than that. Hyaluronic acid. My skin has never been better. So skincare matters. That is one of my number 1 tips is skincare matters. Do what you can. You don't have to be perfect. Just do what you can and do better, okay? And so then this multi-balm stick is the other link that's in here. If you click on the link that looks like milkshake, you can do a skincare match. You can do a match to my cream makeup. You can do a match to this cushion makeup. There's all kinds of stuff in there. You can go to my Amazon storefront if you'd like. So first and foremost, after our skincare, prepping our skin, don't worry about primer, skip the primer, is you need less makeup. But you doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice how you look, okay? So I feel like when I say less makeup, some people are like, oh, great, I don't get to look. No, I like my makeup better now than I ever have in my entire life, and I use way less. Excuse me. But I'm going to show you what I do typically with my makeup. This is my everyday makeup. I'm going to work out of this palette. I would work out of here with my eyeshadows, and I work out of here. And I am going to use my skincare infused cushion. You can get a match to that in that link. Okay, so in here, I'm going to start with bronzer. I know you're like, really? Yes, it will help tone your skin, and it helps you to use less foundation. And I only put foundation where I need it. And I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to take a 3D brush. This is our 3D brush. They're double-ended. They're so good. And I'm going to put bronzer. Whoops. I part my hair on the other side today, and I was just going to swoosh it that way. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I know how to do this. Oh my gosh. All right. So we're going to put somewhere the sun kisses us. That's where we're going to put it. This is a cream bronzer, and I really like it. It just really helps tone my skin. Gives me a little bit of color, gives me some dimension. My skin will turn red a little bit when I tap it. I have sensitive skin. It's getting better. My redness is getting better. My rosacea is getting better from the skincare, but the sensitivity like that, reactive. It's reactive to touch. It's still there. It's so stupid. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of bronzer on, and then that will help tone my skin. Oftentimes, that's all I use will be a little bit of bronzer, maybe a little bit of color on my cheeks. But today we're going to use a little bit of foundation. This is a cushion, and it's skincare infused, so you get skincare benefits even from this, okay? So it's the weirdest thing. You open it up, and there's a little pad in there. This is not a powder. Not a powder. I would not use it if it was a powder. And I don't use that typically. And then you open it up like that, and that's the cushion. And I use this a lot. I have other foundation that I use with Saint, but I use this skincare infused cushion a lot. And I only put it where I need it, the makeup. So I'm going to take here on my cheeks, and I'm going to add this foundation. Anything. If you're going to use foundation, that's where you're going to put it. Only where you need it. So I'm going to tap it here on my cheeks. I'm going to put a little bit here on my chin. So what I'm doing is kind of like those distractions, those things like redness. Maybe you have broken capillaries, and maybe you have acne scarring. So let me give you a little bit of tips about acne scarring and texture, and just getting matched to the proper skin tones. As a mature woman, if we put makeup that's on too light, and you've seen the people that do it, and you may even be one of them. If you put makeup on that's too light, you're going to draw attention to your texture, and you're actually going to make it look worse. So what you need to do is you need to put on a probably darker and darker in the areas of distraction of redness. So what I do then is I just tap and maybe sweep a little in the rest of these areas, and I'm done with that. I'm done with my foundation. Then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to put that little thing back in there, and then I'm going to close it, and then I'm just going to move on. And the next thing I'm going to do is address my under eyes. So under eye darkness is, so we've bronzed to tone our skin first, and then we just put foundation only where we need it. But look at my skin. So many of you will take a liquid or whatever, and you'll take it and you'll put it all over, and then you'll sponge and you'll do whatever. So it may not be your application as far as the sponge or your fingers or whatever the brushes that you're using. It may just be that you're using too much, you're using too light. You may need to go darker, but you can really honestly put it only where you need it and look good and have less makeup on. So if it's causing more distractions to appear on your face, it's probably too light, it's the wrong consistency, or you're putting on too much. So I'm going to take on the under eyes, instead of concealing, and your light concealer is no more. If you have a light concealer in your hand getting ready to put it on your dark under eyes, throw it away. You cannot put light on dark under eyes because it makes them look gray. You already know. I don't even need to tell you. You need to color correct them. So get out an orange or a peachy color. This is Amazing Cosmetics. I don't have a link to it. I need to play with it a little bit more, but you have your peachy for your blue, and you have your yellow for your purple. Most of us have dark under eyes. They look like mud, and so they're blue, and a peach color is gonna do your best for concealing it. This is, oh my gosh, Saint Lip and Cheek Frenchie. That's what I use. It works really well on my under eye darkness. So I like it taking a small brush. This is a spot brush from Saint, again, double-ended. And I'll actually use the fluffier end. And right here I have blue and here I have purple. This doesn't work really, really great on the purple, but it works great on the blue. So I'm gonna take as little as possible and I'm only gonna put it in the areas where I need it. So I'm not gonna use it on my whole entire under eye. Color correction is for specific areas only. So I'll put it there. And then I'll tap with my finger and then I'll put it over here and get rid of the blue. What you're doing is, this is as a cosmetologist, it makes so much sense. When we're working on your hair and we're highlighting, we're coloring, doing whatever, and you're getting brassy or you're getting orangey, all those things that we get with highlights and colors, we know that there's a color wheel. And in that color wheel, there's a color that will counteract and take away the color that's bothering you, okay? So if you're pulling brassy, you're pulling orange, I'm gonna use a blue, okay? There's a color wheel and it's actually color science. And that's what I'm doing to my under eyes. And that's what you can do with your under eyes, your under eye darkness. You just have to remember the less is best. We don't wanna cake it on, and only put it where you're dark. It's not for everywhere. But then I do take my foundation shade and I will apply it over top of that. And then I apply it to the rest of my under eye because I actually darken my under eye to help blend in the under eye darkness. Now, I don't have a lot of under eye darkness and I know that, but I always do this for you guys that do, because I get a lot of people, a lot of people that I get color match and they're like, my under eye darkness, it's driving me crazy. I'm actually going to need a darker color than this. This is natural beige. I'm going to actually pull out, you know what? I'm just going to use, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do what I just did, and I'm going to mix a little bit of bronzer in, and I'm going to darken my under eye. But I'm going to use the least amount possible. Yay! Jolene has her Frenchie in her next order. The thing with Frenchie, and this is why I like recommending it, you can use it as a blush. If you need a different color for color correction, you didn't waste any money. Because, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. You didn't waste any money because you can still use it as a blush. So I love that. Okay, I'm using a little bit of bronzer on my under eyes to deepen it up. Okay. And then I always do this. Take your ring finger so you're gentle and go like this. And I hydrated my under eye. You guys saw that. That was the multi-balm stick. This multi-balm stick is amazing. It's 25 bucks. You can use it on your under eyes. I use it on my lips. You can use it on your nasolabial folds. You can use it on your 11s, anywhere, or just anywhere that you're dry. I tend to be like, I'll feel and I'm a little bit more dry and I'll put that on. I use this and carry it with me all the time. I have several of them in my house and in my purse, in my car. And I take it with me and I use it all the time. It's just, I love it, and it's so inexpensive and it lasts for a really long time. And it's great for under eye lines and keeping your under eyes hydrated. You need them hydrated. I think you'll be surprised. I put all my skincare on my under eyes, but when I go to touch it like this inner part right here will be the part that's dry. You think it would be out here with all my wrinkles and crinkles. I still put it out there, but it's right in there that's dry. Yeah, Cindy uses Frenchie both concealer and blush. Frenchie is really super pretty. It just is. Now I am going to touch up a little bit more bronzer because I love bronzer. I love the look of bronzer on my cheeks. I did a little bit of foundation over it, so I'm just going to touch that up a little bit. And then I am going to put a lip and cheek on. So our blushes can be used on our lips and our cheeks. And this one happens to be one that's one of our loyalty rewards. It's Haze. As a customer of Saint, you earn rewards. And this right here is only available as a customer of Saint. It's so pretty. But if you want to buy, well, I can't. It's not even available right now. I was going to say Huckleberry is very close. This is the prettiest purple color ever. It is a semi-gloss, so it has a little bit of a glossy feel to it. But it is the prettiest, cool purple mauve color. They've been coming out with these super pretty purple colors, and I just love them. So another trick, my next tip for you as a mature lady is when you are putting your blush on, if you're still in that old school mindset, you're still doing things the same, you may be smiling and putting it on the apples of your cheeks, but then when you don't smile, it's too low. So let's not do that anymore. The best thing you're going to be able to do for most of us anyway, because most of us don't have full cheeks, is to apply it on high on the cheekbone. So we're right here high. Do that on both cheeks and go up towards your temple. So you're kind of traveling up. You want the eye to, when you look at me, I want you to see up. So that's why I take it up into my temple like so. And then when I'm all done, I will put it on the apple to my cheek. What I do is an upside down triangle. It just works really well for me. So I go like dot, 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 because I have the worst blush placement. I don't know what my problem is, but I just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And it works really well, but I keep my face natural when I do it. I don't smile because then I may get my blush too low and we don't want that. So the blush is on. Isn't it pretty? It's so good. If you're in my VIP group, I showed you guys the difference of that one and Huckleberry. It is the prettiest. And the eyeshadow colors I have on are on clearance right now. They're last chance. They're going away. This is Eve. And then I put Paris. And then I put a little bit of Starlit Illuminator. It's actually an illuminator. It'll last you the rest of your life. I mean, it's a big old, let me just show it to you. It's a big powder illuminator and you can use it as an eyeshadow. And if you're only going to use it here in the inner corner, you know, you're going to be able to use it for, oh, I have it in my clearance palette. I have a palette of all the clearance stuff. So here is Starlet. You could have used Glamazing. That's also in the link. You can shop the last chance items, but I used Starlet. It's really super finely milled. And what I did when I applied it is I put it like this, and then I just went like so, right on the inner corner. Isn't that pretty? I just love that color. So it's Eve, Paris, and Starlit Illuminator, powder illuminator. And then of course you can use this as an illuminator too. All right, so then let's get to brightening. Brightening, for many of you, you call it highlight. What color is my highlight, you guys will ask me. I call it brightening because we call all of our foundation shades are called highlights. So it becomes confusing. Jolynn has the same problem with her cheeks. I don't know what the problem is. Blush should not be hard. But I was so frustrated with it. So I saw another influencer. I did not come up with this. She did this upside down triangle and I was like, life-changing. So brightener is what we're going to be really careful with, and we're never going to put it on our under eyes. Remember, we're not going to conceal our under eyes with a light color. We're never going to do that ever again in our lives. We're never going to put it right directly under our eyes if we have these wrinkles and crinkles like this, but we're going to use it for lift. And it's one of your most powerful things that's going to be in your palette. These palettes, just so you know, I didn't mention this, these are completely customizable to you. They're magnetic. I can color match you if you click on the link that you can see there and you match to Saint 3D foundation, or you can get a Remon match to that cushion. This is completely customizable. You can start out with any size palette that you want. It's up to you, which is amazing. So I'm going to take the same brush, that spot brush I use on my under eyes, and I'm going to brighten in specific key areas. So the first thing I'm going to do here on the top of my face is, so many of you are like now like, yep, brighten right there in a triangle. Well, I don't do that anymore because I have a mature face and I can't do that. So what I do is I take brightener and I take very little and I will clean up my eyeshadow here, but I'm also creating, when you look at me, that lift, I'm going to blend that in, but you see the lift that it's creating? Light lifts. So light lifts, always lifts, but it will also draw attention. So that's why you stay out from your under eyes. So we'll lift over here. So look at that side and then look at this side. So if you ever get your eyeshadow too low, from the corner of your eye to about the tail of your brow is where you want the eyeshadow to stop. Like that. And then you're going to put it above the peak of your brow. Why? Because they've fallen. And because they've fallen, that light will help create a little bit of lift. So we're going to do that. Then we are going to, I can put a little here on this part of my face because it is nice to draw attention towards your eyes. But I can't put a lot on the inner corner of my eye. Some of you may get away with putting some like right here. I can't. So I can get away with it right there and just a little bit. But I have to be careful because I already color corrected right there. So, hello, Mary. So she says, how does the makeup hold up to sweat? Anyone here that are the St. Wears that would like to comment? And then I do where my cheeks are falling. So I like to sweep it around right here. You test this out and see if you like this. Okay. I don't have problems with longevity. Okay. But I don't wear, I have on minimal makeup. I also remember my foundation is the cushion. I think it holds up just fine as long as you aren't touching your face a lot. I mean, if you're going to wipe the sweat off your face, you're most likely going to wipe the makeup off. But I find longevity wise, I don't have problems with longevity with my makeup. Heck, good afternoon. Hi. Yay, she wore lip. Oh, send me a picture. Okay, so I think it holds up very well to sweat. If you're in a high humidity for a long time, like I've been in those outdoor weddings, that's what it always makes me think of. I'm at an outdoor wedding, sweating my brains out. Then I will put it just in my T-zone because that tends to be my oilier area. I will put vanilla dust powder and maybe put a setting spray on, maybe not. I don't usually need even that much setting spray. Okay, then I like to create lift right here. My eyes are sinking in, but where I won't put it is directly on my under eye. Again, whoops, because my under eye is too textured. See, look at all that, okay? And we smile. We should be. I mean, we already frown. So if we smile, we got these wrinkles and crinkles, so we need to be really careful where we're sticking light. So I'm putting it right here, and then I'll bring a little bit right in there. So it's only in my valley. And then I will tap it with my fingers. Now, one thing with this makeup, I want to preface, she asked about the sweat. So longevity of makeup is obviously it's the makeup, but is a lot of what you have underneath it too. That's why people think that they need primer so much, is they think the longevity, I get this, people will text me and they'll be like, I use this, and that, you know what I mean? And it's like, you don't need all that. You don't need that. We need the least amount as possible. We need good skincare. Get the good skincare on. And then start applying your makeup in the right way. You need the least amount possible. Least amount, but look, okay? You guys saw how much makeup I have on, but do I look like I sacrificed my look? I don't. I didn't sacrifice anything, but my face feels amazing. My makeup will stay on. My skincare, it's doing all the things that it needs to be doing. So, all right. We brightened. Okay, so she asked about powder. So the next tip I'm going to give you then is powdering. Powder is, years ago, I feel like we really had to powder our faces all up. And we just don't have to do that anymore. Hello. Okay, so Mary lives in Florida. The armpit of the enemy. It's hot, right? So she's saying if she wipes around her eyes, it can remove the makeup. But she just dabs and then it holds great. I think that would be with just any makeup, right? So yeah, Cindy looks, oh, you guys are so great. I should pay you guys. She's like, I look forward to the skincare every day. You really do. Okay, so then for powder, what we're going to do is we're going to put the least amount on as possible, and we're only going to put it where we need it. I feel like back several years ago, there was lots and lots of powder that you had, or you felt like you had to put lots of powder on all over the place, and you just don't need that anymore. I prefer the vanilla dust in my T-zone. We do have a feather blotting powder. Where did I put that? In here that you can put, and it really does blur out pores and stuff. So it just depends on what you want. I don't care for the feather blotting one in my T-zone. It is, it doesn't do what I need in the T-zone. So just take a dense brush and put a little bit of powder on, and that's too much. Tap it off and then put it very lightly where you need it. And I would rather have you tap into the powder more and apply it than get too much on and make you look crusty and dusty. We don't want crusty and dusty. Okay, That's all I'm going to put on it. I'm not even going to put the feather blotting. And then if you feel like you need a setting spray, I really do like Set and Stay by Remon. It also is skincare infused, which is really great. 103 the other day. Oh, bless your heart. Why do you live there? Just kidding. You can also put this under the makeup. It has the best mister ever in the whole wide world, which is so great, and it dries really, really fast. So this is a great setting spray for you. And that's it. 103 is hot. It was 93, and I thought it was baking. Like you felt like you were baking. Okay, that's it. Again, the link here, if you're watching this live, is right there available for you. I do believe if you're watching on the replay, I'm going to have to put it in the description. You just click on it and you can get access to all the things that you want to see, all the things that you want. But of course, ask the questions. That's why I'm here. I will come back and I will answer them. I promise. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's really been fun. See ya.